Hey everyone, welcome back to PR and Test Drive. Last week we tested the 2024 Toyota BZ4X and it came in at a price tag of about 65,000 Canadian dollars after deliveries and before incentives. Today we have the 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E, which also comes in at a very similar as spec price. Specifically, this is the Select model with all-wheel drive and the extended range battery. So, in today's video, we're going to find out what this is like to drive after spending some time with the BZ4X last week. Let's get started. Starting in the front, the Mustang Mach-E Select gets a grille outline instead of a traditional grille, along with a badging that's somewhat controversial. Other trim gets other style of front grille. The premium model gets a different outline design, and the GT and the Rally Edition gets a full grille, so you can pick and choose. Off to the side, of course, we have LED headlights, and of course, they are also featured with sequential turn signals. Last but not least, unlike the Toyota BZ4X, the Mustang Mach-E actually has a fairly decent sized front trunk, which is bonus points to practicality. Over to the side, the Mach-E has no door handles. Instead, it's got two buttons and a little flap. Basically, the way you open the door is you press the button and the door pops open a little bit, and then you pull the little flap to open it all the way. Pretty weird, but it definitely makes the side profile look very streamlined. Now, the Mach-E Select features 225 wide tires along with 19-inch rims, and in the front you get McPherson strut as suspension, and in the rear you get a multi-link setup. Over here you'll also find the charge port door, which you can press and it pops out, and a J1772 charge plug here along with the CCS fast charging combo unit. This Mach-E is rated for up to 150 kilowatt of fast charging. No NACS plug just yet, but Ford says these will come in the near future. Over to the rear, you'll find perhaps the most recognizable Mustang design cue here, these LED taillights. And of course, they also feature those lovely sequential turn signals. If you're looking for a motorized liftgate, you're not going to find it with the Select trim. You're going to have to move up to the Premium or the GT trim. But inside, you get a very decent amount of trunk space here, 29.7 cubic feet to be exact, which is very similar to what you'd get in the Toyota BZ4X. But in addition to that, you also get some very usable under trunk floor storage space. You can put your charging cable here, plus a couple other things as well. And then lastly, of course, you can also fold down the second row seats for extra space. The one aspect, in my opinion, where the Mustang Mach-E really outshines the Toyota BZ4X is the powertrain spec sheet. Under the hood, figuratively speaking, in terms of battery size, the Toyota BZ4X all-wheel drive version comes with a 72 kilowatt hour battery pack, which allows it to go 367 kilometers of rated range. The Mustang Mach-E, although comes with a similar 72 kilowatt hour battery pack, it is available with an extended range 91 kilowatt hour battery pack, which this one has, and it allows it to go 483 kilometers of range. 482 might be. Anyway, significantly more range compared to the Toyota. And on top of that, the Mach-E all-wheel drive version produces 325 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque, which allows this to go from 0 to 100 kilometers in 4.3 seconds. Whereas in the Toyota, that only produces 214 horsepower and 248 pound-feet of torque, and your 0 to 100 kilometer times is in the 6-second range. And bear in mind, this isn't even the GT version. The GT version has over 150 horsepower more than this, and that is really fast. Jumping inside, although the rear seats look very flat, they're actually very comfortable and soft. Slightly less legroom compared to the BZ4X, but I do get a little bit more headroom, which is great. Overall, it's quite spacious and very comfortable. I have no complaints here. In terms of the seat trimmings, we get the Active X material from Ford, which is their version of synthetic leather. Contrasting stitching, which looks nice, but no perforation. For perforation, you would have to go up to the premium trim. I'm not a huge fan of this material because it feels a little bit too stretchy, but other people have said that they love this, so something for you to test out yourself. Lastly, in terms of the roof, the Select trim gets you a normal roof, no sunroof or anything like that. For a fixed glass roof, you're gonna have to get it in the premium trim as an option. Either way, no sunroof per se, you get a fixed glass roof instead. Up front, despite this being the base model, the driver's seat is power adjusted. Additionally, this vehicle is equipped with the $500 Comfort Package Lite, which means that you get things like heated seats, heated steering wheel, and also memory seats. In terms of screens, you get a small digital instrument cluster here and a big vertical screen. You can control the instrument cluster, but it does show you important information like your speed, Blue Cruise information, and remaining charge time. The infotainment screen uses a Sync 4 system, and as you can expect, you get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wirelessly as standard. Controls are still all done through this touchscreen, which is not the best, but you do get this scroll wheel for your volume control, and if you press the temperature button, you can then adjust the temperature here, and you press the fan speed button here, then you can adjust the fan speed using the scroll wheel. Unfortunately, the system is still a bit laggy, and the built-in voice control doesn't work that great. Fortunately, there is Amazon Alexa that you can connect your account with and use the voice control there, and it does show quite a lot of EV information, which is great. Aside from that, you get quite a lot of open space here, wireless charger, cup holders, USB ports, more storage down here, more storage underneath your armrest, and a glove box, which the Toyota didn't have. But I do have some complaints about the interior. First of all, this armrest feels a little too low. I wish Ford could make it adjustable with those clicky things. That would be great. And then the pedal placement feels very weird because the brake pedal is quite far outwards and the gas pedal or the throttle is quite far inwards. So when you're accelerating, there's also quite a lot of travel. So when you're accelerating, it feels like you have to lift up your foot to press the brakes instead of just lean on your ankle here. Just a minor thing that I've sort of noticed driving this car, which I'm not quite used to. Right, now that we're on the road, whoa. Yep. Power in this all-wheel drive Mach-E Select base model is definitely very impressive. Very quick off the line and plenty of torque for instant acceleration. On the highway, it is still fast, but because it has so much more torque compared to horsepower, it does feel less zippy on the highway. When it comes to handling, the Mach-E, although has a very low center of gravity because the battery pack is down in the middle, down in the center, on the floor here, it feels very heavy. The chassis itself is decent, however, this Select model is significantly limited by the narrow tires in terms of grip, causing the car to feel quite a bit less confident and a little lackluster. But it does push you out in terms of, it does swing a little bit of the rear out if you accelerate while you're turning, which is definitely fun. It just doesn't feel like the tires and the weight can handle it as much as a normal Mustang, let's put it that way. The overall ride quality in this Mach-E is good. Suspension tuning, I would say, is more comfort oriented than anything. The relatively smaller rim size also definitely help contribute to the comfort levels. However, comparing to the BZ4X, that had a bit better road compliance and a slightly better ride quality overall. Over here in the center screen here, you get 3 drive modes to choose from, which adjusts the regen braking, steering weight, and the throttle response. I really wished, however, that these options can be separated by like a custom mode or something, so I can adjust them independently. In terms of efficiency, I must say I'm quite surprised. Despite having all-wheel drive and 500 pound-feet of torque, this Mach-E managed 13 to 14 kWh per 100 kilometers in the city and 17 to 18 kWh per 100 kilometers on the highway, beating the Toyota BZ4X all-wheel drive by 1 to 2 kWh per 100 kilometers during our time of testing last week. But as always, your mileage may vary, as I'm testing this Mach-E and the Toyota BZ4X in pretty much optimal weather in terms of battery, between 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Moving on to safety tech, the Mach-E gets Ford's Copilot 360 system as standard, which include things like emergency braking, blind spot warning, evasive steering, lane keep, lane centering, adaptive cruise control, so on and so forth. You also get a 360 camera, which for a base model, again, is excellent. Although the Select model doesn't include Ford's Blue Cruise as standard, it is available as an option for a 3-year subscription plan. But regardless, all Mach-E's get a 3-month trial to begin with. Notably, the Blue Cruise allows you to have hands-free driving on the highway and allows you to signal and the car will change lane on itself. With that said, even if you go without the Blue Cruise, you still get normal adaptive cruise control and lane centering. It just means that you have to hold on to the steering wheel, which isn't all that bad. All in all, the 2024 Mach-E Select with extended range battery and all-wheel drive is a very well-rounded electric SUV. It delivers solid performance, good range, and a comfortable ride, all at a fairly competitive price. A better value, in my opinion, than the Toyota BZ4X all-wheel drive that we tested last week. Ultimately, in my opinion, it just has one problem. It doesn't deserve the Mustang name. Mustangs should be loud, should have a long hood, and should only have 2 doors, none of which this Mach-E has. Don't get me wrong, this is a great SUV, great electric SUV, just not really a Mustang in my book. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Let me know if you're gonna pick a Mach-E over something else. What would those options be? Would you take the Toyota we had last week, or would you take this Mach-E as your family electric SUV? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.